Alright, let's kick off this shit. How am I looking in the frame? Good shirt, everything is great. Okay, so I really want to kick off with this kind of a retrospective kind of video of my Amsterdam trip, which made me realize that I have to film this kind of videos for an extended period of time to improve, I think, my life in some way. Anyway, so there are a couple of points that I've noted for myself that I've noticed for the last week, and I just want to go over them and kind of reflect on them. There will be some insights, you know. So first one is that you don't realize you're living in your bubble until you really leave that bubble. What do I mean by that? So I'm working as a sales kind of a guy, sales support, sales operations in aerospace industry, and I got the chance this week to go on a work trip back, not back, but to Amsterdam from Brussels. So it was all paid for by the company, and I was there like 2 days, 2.5 days, you know, more conferences and this type of things. But I also got to experience to be by myself and, you know, simple things, checking in the hotel, seeing how the people react to you when you're in the suit, you know, talking to different people, see their reactions of you, you know, just basic kind of interactions and things that used to be normal, but as more and more we translate it to be of a remote work or online based professions, you know, we didn't really have the chance anymore to experience this kind of a life. So what I want to say is that I didn't really realize how in a bubble I was until I actually and finally left that bubble, which was after I was coming back from my work trip in Amsterdam back to Brussels, and I was like kind of reflecting on it and thinking, yeah, you know, you gotta do something that is outside of your typical life routine, otherwise you'll be staying and being the same person, and that routine of life will just eat you alive and absorb you, and there's no new experiences, there's no new connections, there's no new things, right? Something maybe that I lacked was novelty, but I also think that it's also just the the wholeness of life as it is. So it's not really about the novelty or all the time getting something new, which is I also can be detrimental to some extent, but it's about living life to the fullest and letting it pass, not without having to experience all of these beautiful and simple sometimes pleasures, like going on a work trip and checking in a hotel, having a walk, understanding that you are on your own, or just getting to speak in a conference with other professionals in your field and understanding that, you know, we're all in this shit and we're kind of similar and we're kind of not, and yeah, we're just boiling in this shit together, and we gotta just figure it out somehow. And every day and every even second and millisecond is an opportunity for you to get closer to that truth, you know. So that was the first one. The second one is okay, let me get closer to you. So the dopamine is not about the pursuit of pleasure, it is about the pleasure of pursuit, right? Think about it. It's not about the pursuit of pleasure, it's about the pleasure of pursuit. One way you can escape the unproductive cycle is by thinking of the work you need to do in terms of the reward you get from it, rather than the effort it takes to get that work done. So let me explain. So it's very fucking simple concept, and yet so many people do not understand it, myself included, motherfucker. So I was that motherfucker who thought of work as always efforts, right? And all these simple dopamine activities and the short form, low effort activities like scrolling or doing anything like eating junk food or whatever as bringing me pleasure, right? But why did I not think of the work itself as a way for me also to get the dopamine, even maybe better and more healthier and bigger spike of dopamine right? Reward, in other words, just by doing the work. So I was thinking about the effort it takes me to get the work done instead of thinking about the reward or the result of what I will get once the job is done. And I think thinking in this frame makes it much more easier for you to step up and get your work done. So, the third thing is the abundance versus scarcity and consumption versus production. So I really do believe that abundance mindset is something that each and every person successful has captured and understood that it's a necessary tool to get to the next level. And scarcity is really something that only I see in poor people most of the time, or the rich people that are actually poor. You know, you can like kind of have the money but be poor. You know, so it's like a rich broke person, kind of this term. Um, so yeah, abundance is really important. And one thing is also what about abundance? It's about consumption and about production. So producing something is abundance mindset, I do believe. And scarcity is about consumption because you're trying to conserve, you're trying to get as much as possible because you're not sure that you will get it in the future. It kind of brings me back to our ancestors, right? In a way, that we're trying to get little, you know, fruit or berries like this one, you know, like this little berry that I have in my hand. And they were trying to get it, this berry, and save it or eat it as soon as possible because they had this scarcity mindset, because it was actually healthy to have it. Because like, yeah, life was hard and survival mechanisms in our evolutionary processes are, yeah, you know, prevalent. But actually getting back and more thinking rationally, producing something is giving back. It's risking, right? It's taking action. It's taking pro-action, lead, you know, being a leader for yourself, first of all. And I do believe that the more you produce in life and the more good you do, the more value you bring to the life of other people or in the world, the better and the healthier and happier you become. I really do believe so, because as soon as I stop consuming and stop producing and start producing, I really feel instant lively energy, you know. So fourth thing is there's every time something you desire more of, and there's every time something you can have less of. And it brings me back to the great gratitude in general, right? Because there's always something you can desire, you can want to have more, you want to achieve more, you have this passion and this drive comparing to other people, yourself first of all, and your lifestyle and everything you have around you. And there's instant desire that is, I think, in sense, is driven by the envy. Desire in the more modern world is driven by the envy, not by this its natural and intrinsic, you know, roots. That's what I think. But there's also every time there's something that you can have less of, and I think that's what you should really focus on to ground yourself. I have 2 arms, I have 2 legs, I have a voice, I have certain amount of education and things in my life that brought me to the place that I'm here. I have parents alive, you know. I have water to drink. I have this beautiful forest that accommodated me today to film this video and share these insights with you. And I think this is really a great thing. Every time there is something that lacks, and every time there is something to be grateful for, right? This is pretty much. And the last thing is the urgency plus abundance equals scale, right? So, in a sense, you want to be grateful for things, but I also noticed that having an abundance mindset, meaning that you really think of yourself like this archetype of a person, of a Superman. Superman is going for the risk. Superman is going for hard choices and hard life, and is taking the lead and actually believes that there is more to life. But at the same time, it's also urgent in a way, or urgency is needed, because urgency and abundance, I think it's really the exponential growth if you can combine these two together in your life. Because if you're urgent about your life and your actions and your situation, you don't procrastinate on it, you don't hold on to past experiences and past memories, you really do start to believe in better, greater world. And you also, I think, end up just having a greater, more fulfilling life. I would sum up it as being risk taking plus being urgent about those risks and taking those risks proactively equals having fucking amazing results. Yeah, that's it. Until next time. Oh my lord.